And that's why it is so important that we realize how we can make an environment in the classroom that is easier to interact in with all the stimuli that the students receive there. So how, in order to think about that, what can we do in order to create an autism-friendly environment? Well, first of all, it is really important that the environment or the classroom that we organize for our students is predictable, so that you can prevent this kind of excessive stimulation that they might get. That could be lights, sounds, tastes, smells. So everything should be really thought carefully when you have an autistic student. As of course, you have to soften or strengthen the stimuli according to the characteristic of the students, because some students may be hypo or hypersensitive to the environment. So if they are hypo, you need to stimulate them more. If they are hyper, you need to lessen the stimuli they get. That's why it is really important that you know and be aware of the sensory differences that they have, because it is not that an autistic children or student have all problems with all the senses. It might be only lights or only sounds. It depends. That's why it is very important that you know about their sensory differences. This kind of structured classroom represents a meaningful place and also a safe place where this kind of student can feel safe and learn, because it will be easier for them to relate to the environment and other people. What can you do to help them work with some stressful situations when they get these overloads of information? Well, you can build this kind of workstations. A workstation is a space or desk with high walls or divides on both sides that can block out the stimuli. You can see that in the picture. It must be set up with the individual child's needs in mind, so that that is related to the sensory difficulties that they have. And this will also enable the child to know how to organize their work and expectations, and by doing so, reducing anxiety. As you can see, you can prepare a folder, and on one part of the folder, you can have the things that they have to do, and then they can organize the works they have done in another part of the folder. And you can also give certain instructions using pictograms that I'm going to show you now, that it is a better way of communicating with them. That's why they are so important. You can use expected behavior prompt cards or pictograms, and they are helpful to support the understanding of instructions. You need to remember that they can't decodify messages in the way we do. So pictures are very important. They can include verbal language or not. It depends on your student. And these pictures can also help them show how they feel to other students, because remember that they cannot show their feelings with their facial expressions, and by using this, it will help them relate with others more easily. As regards communication, which is very important for us as teachers, you need to speak clearly and precisely using very short sentences, and you have to avoid making too many questions and open questions. Try to use yes/no questions so that they can focus on the information that you're requiring and not anything and not more. You have to avoid using sarcasm and humor and other expression of speech, because they cannot understand that. You have to back up your statements with verbal instruction or commentaries. Do not rely only on the verbal communication or your facial expressions. Try to use pictures, because remember that they find it difficult to decodify that kind of stimuli. Reduce language and back up with written or visual prompts, as I just said. You have to use the child's or the student's name first. Wait until they give you their attention before starting speaking, and you have to wait for their response, because it might take more than 30 seconds for an autistic student to process information and understand the message that you are giving them. So be patient. give the instruction, use pictures, but wait until you see their reaction to see if they understood what they had to do or not. As regards dealing with stress and anxiety, you can also include fidget toys in your classroom because they provide the sensory input that they need, but also help them struggle to regulate their emotions and behaviors.